Hey guys, Foxdrop here, welcome back to another one of our Spectate gameplays. Today we're taking a look at the TYLER1 of Korea. This geezer is a challenger Draven main. Not actually TYLER1, this guy's only rank 3 in the solo queue ladder over in Korea, so of course he doesn't hold a candle to the actual TYLER1, but still this is the closest thing we can get to him. So today we're taking a look at this guy because people ask me a lot about Draven. I don't know why, I don't even play AD carry, but I know he's a very exciting champion to watch, so I saw this guy and I figured it would be a good video to make. First thing to say, if I look like death, I'm not feeling great. I actually feel a lot better than I look though, but don't worry, I'm still alive, I think. Outside of that though, guys, runes and masteries. This guy has a very interesting rune page and slightly interesting mastery setup. I'll put them down below in the description, but essentially he goes 6 AD reds, 3 attack speed reds, 9 armor yellows, 5 MR blues, 4 mana regen blues, 2 attack speed quints, and a lifesteal quint. Random as shit. And 18-0-12 with Fervor for battle, but one of those points in the resolve tree goes into fearless. If you don't know what that is, it's the second tier down on the far right. Basically, he gets extra armor and magic resist when he's fighting people. It's pretty, like, no one really runs that mastery, but a few people have been doing it in Korea. Specifically some mid laners, some melee mid laners, but also apparently this guy as well. So today, guys, if you're new to this series, we're going to be hopefully trying to learn how to play some Draven based off of how this guy plays, but also have some fun looking at what he does as well. Because like I say, Draven is a very exciting champion to watch and also a very aggressive champion. Now, the first thing we'll notice about his lane phase, I'm not a great bot laner, guys, so I apologize if I don't explain things particularly well, but I generally know the mechanics. Right now, what you want to do in the very early stage, Draven's very aggressive, so if he can harass with his axes spinning, if he gets 2 axes spinning, which he has now, you can't win a trade against him. However, if you get level 2 first, that's really what you're looking to do in any lane, especially bot lane. So you'll see these guys are now moving aggressive, the blue team, that's because they're about to hit level 2 exactly as they do. And then they go aggressive, and that level advantage means so much that usually you would just flat out win the fight. Now, I don't think that you should really lose a trade as Draven, but because they got the level advantage, he lost it. But Ludo gets greedy as fuck, and so it all works out perfectly fine in the end. And here comes Elise swinging around for the gank as well. I think Twitch has his flash. I don't think he has heal, but he does have flash. Saving it for the cocoon. There it is. Oh, Elise is actually going in. Nice, and they get it. Good shit. Pretty good start to the game, boys and girls. Pretty good start to the game. Soured by the Lulu's aggressiveness, but that is the importance of pushing for level 2 early on. If you're watching this and you're a low elo player, push for level 2. Just kill the first few minions, get that level 2 because you win that fight. You'll 100% win if you get that level 2 before the enemy team does. Now, I mentioned this is the Korean TYLER1, but it's not actually TYLER1. Today we are spectating the game of the one, the only Quints. Of course, I'm sure many of you guys have heard of this guy. They do say you should take good care when you're naming things because it's your brand. This guy is no exception, obviously. Pretty good start to the game. Recalling 2-0-1. Can't really complain about that one, honestly. I wasn't expecting him to get 2-0-1 on his first recall, but I guess that's what happens when you make the tiniest mistakes in Challenger Elo, like this Ludo did by flashing in. It snowballs, and Elise it has the presence of mind to actually snowball this Draven as well. Generally speaking, from my perspective as a jungler, if you can see that your laners are aggressive laners, or lanes that can just like will be fighting all the time, or lanes that, especially lanes that can win, people like Draven are like this, people like Riven are like this as well. So putting a lot of attention to that lane is generally speaking a good idea because you know that you're going to get something happening with them because they're always going to be fighting. And sitting on a Draven, specifically just by design, if you've got a Draven in the game, generally speaking, you want to sit on that lane. That goes for both sides as well. Like what Elise is doing here is great because she can snowball this Draven to just spiral out of control. But also if you were the enemy jungler, going for this Draven would be a good idea as well because you know he's going to be fighting all the time, going aggressive, so he's probably going to open himself up and be vulnerable for the ganks. However, in this specific situation, you probably don't want to actually gank Draven anymore because I don't think they can kill him. But yeah, either way, nice orchestrated tower dive there. I would rewind, but these replays are busted for me. If I rewind, it freezes for 30 seconds. Don't think you guys want to sit here for 30 seconds while I analyze a very small play. But essentially, Tahm Kench tanks the tower aggro. Draven waits before he throws out his axes before Tahm Kench has actually picked up the tower aggro, because he doesn't want to be tanking that tower. So talking a little bit about Draven's item build here, he's doing something slightly different to what he normally does, and he is rushing the Bloodthirster. Normally what this guy does is he rushes Yumu's and then gets Bloodthirster afterwards. I would assume he's rushing Bloodthirster this game because he recalled with so much gold and could afford a BF sword flat out. But generally speaking, you'll be seeing this guy go for the Yumu's over Bloodthirster early on, and boom, Bob's your uncle, Bernie's your nan. There it is. This is why you put so much attention onto Draven lanes, guys, because they pop off really bloody hard. You get those 2 axes juggling, and then your auto attacks do a crazy amount of damage, and you absolutely take steaming dumps on people. Bearing in mind, this is Korean Challenger, guys. The people that this guy is taking a bit of a pounding against, or I should say they're taking a pounding. They're Korean Challengers. They're no slouches. They're good players, and it's still happening. So if you want to play Draven, guys, play Draven. He's a good solo queue champion, as you can see here. He's pretty mindless as well. All you've got to do is catch your axes, but outside of that, no worries. Just run at people and right-click them. It's pretty good. Pretty aggressive stuff. So he's got his Bloodthirster all finished, and now he's going to be going into the Yumu's, like I say. So this is his core build for pretty much every single game. Sometimes he deviates from this build. For example, I saw him once. He went Yumu's into Mercurial Scimitar when he was playing versus Ashe. He did that. But I think that's kind of like a very situational thing, very personal preference. I don't think that you have to get, you know, I think if you go Yumu's Bloodthirster, that's fine. He also toys around with Death Stance instead of Bloodthirster sometimes as well. So there's a little bit of variation in his build, but more or less this is what he goes for. The pretty standard core build, which isn't too surprising, because if I'm not mistaken, TYLER1 does the same thing with, or he used to. I'm not sure what he does anymore. I think he might actually do Blade the Ring King now, but either way, Yumu's well known as a good item on Draven. Now what Draven's doing here is creating a lot of pressure. This does make him very vulnerable to being ganked. Now as you can see here, this is a teleport flank, but in true Draven style, you just turn around on the enemy team and look at this damage. Wait, did he get kicked inside Tahm Kench's belly? What the hell? So Draven gets kicked, Tahm Kench eats him, and then takes the Lee Sin collision. Now generally speaking, making this kind of play, it's risky if you're going to be pushing out that far, but more or less you're generating enough pressure that your team should be able to at least do something on the other side of the map. I would say this was like a macro mistake from his team. Instead of trying to help Draven, just push somewhere else. Like if Elise, Jace, and who is it? If Elise and Jace had just sat mid right here when everyone had roamed down bot, they probably could have got that mid tower and that would have been fine. You saw Olaf as well. I don't even know if he's got his TP up, but you saw Olaf there as well. He just sits top. You know, the Kled TP's bot, Olaf just sits top and he goes for the tower as well. So you don't necessarily need to always go with your team to like fight with them. Just go for the macro play, go for the objectives instead. And I think that was a bit of a mistake because Draven's dead, right? Draven, Tahm Kench, they're dead. When they get caught in that position, they're donezo. Like you can't, there's not really much point trying to help them. It will take a miracle and a massive fuck up from the enemy team to be able to turn that around, and it's just not worth it. Just go for the tower instead. Going towards Yumu's here now, guys. Pretty standard stuff still. Just pushing that. He hasn't left his bot lane once here. So he's going to be generating a crap ton of pressure. But what is really important to note about what he's doing here, and this really is imperative if you're going to be putting yourself in this position, look at the vision that he has placed on the map right here. Now this is good by Tahm Kench, assuming those are Tahm Kench's wards. But that is important. If you've got a winning lane like this, ward for them. If you're going to leave them, especially as Tahm Kench has done, you have to have vision down so that he knows he's safe when he pushes out this far. Now, of course, he's playing Draven, and he's fed on Draven as well. So now that he's lost vision, he doesn't care. He's just going to keep harassing these guys under tower, keep going for the pressure play, just go for the big ballsy plays here, and he doesn't care. Like, he genuinely does not care. It does help that he's got a little bit of pressure in mid lane as well. But still, what is really important, guys, is vision in this scenario. If you have vision, you at least can back away from things. Although, to be honest, having said that, against Kled, he probably wouldn't get away anyway. But still, generating pressure, catching loads of axes here as well, so he can cash in on those stacks. Is he going to recall soon? I don't know whether he can afford Yumu's as he recalls here. I just need to quickly check something here, guys. I do apologize. Sadly, if you guys know my struggles, you guys know that I've got one monitor now, which really sucks. Like, it's really bloody irritating. My second monitor just broke. I don't know why it broke, but it just doesn't work anymore. So it's really darn irritating to not be able to look at something on my second monitor. Anyway, sorry about that. I did it while he was in spawn, so he didn't miss anything. He's going for his Yumu's. Almost got it. Almost got it. Something that I think I mentioned before, which now that I think about it, I think I may have actually said something wrong. His build order where he goes Yumu's into Bloodthirster. I probably shouldn't emphasize that as his like 100%. Oh my god, is he actually going to kill Twitch? Yeah, of course he is. That's Draven in a nutshell. If you want Draven in a nutshell, there it is, right there. Just turn on the play. If you're playing Draven, don't run away from the play. Just turn on it. Yeah, I should emphasize, guys, if you're playing this this build here, you don't have to go Yumu's into Bloodthirster every game. Bloodthirster and Yumu's like this one here is good if you get ahead specifically. I should have emphasized that, because I think I probably insinuated that you should go Yumu's Bloodthirster every single game, but no, if you're ahead, Bloodthirster is the good one to go first. So yeah, either way round you can get the 2 items. It doesn't matter too much. This is an absolute stomp, but look at his team's scores. Like, his team isn't even doing that well. His team is like really not doing anything special, honestly. Like, the fact that no one really is like 10 CS more than their laners when Draven is this fed, that's crazy. So his team is doing, like, the enemy team, I would say, is doing fine. It's literally just Draven right here. He's popped off, and all he's done is sat bot lane and just created an incredible amount of pressure. And when you're playing Draven, it's not one of these champions who you want to play around your team. You just play greedy. Just sit in bot lane and push. That's something which I think is probably one of the more important things to take away from this game, is just push bot lane. Just push. And when it comes to it, later on, if you want to group up and you really want to like force things, go for it. But in the lane phase, just sit bot lane. One downside of playing Draven, you are very vulnerable without any escapes, so it's quite easy to get caught out. Having a Tahm Kench on your team makes that survivability a little bit better, but if Tahm Kench isn't there, you just die. So got to be a little bit careful with your positioning. However, having said that, playing Draven, you always die a lot anyway, because you're always jumping into the back line. Let's get forward this fight here, because we want to see our boy Draven doing some shit. Draven weren't doing nothing in that fight. He just passed out. He just died. He's out of there. The reason why Draven rotated out of bot, by the way, because I know I was talking about how you should just sit bot and then he was running around the map. Once lane phase was over, so once his team had gotten towers specifically in that mid lane, that's when the map started opening up, and it was a good idea for him to actually start moving around with his team and making some more like team-based plays there. But generally speaking, in the lane phase, just sit bot lane. If you're ahead, don't try and roam and try and get your team ahead. Just sit bot. Probably good advice for AD carries in general, to be honest. But yeah, got to be careful here, Draven, mate. You have no idea where anyone is. You're a little bit out of position there, buddy. This is the Draven's speciality. Just don't give a shit about any potential threats and just run at the enemy team. Pretty standard stuff for Draven, honestly. Huge amounts of lifesteal makes playing Draven actually really nice in this kind of mid game. No matter what happens, the outplay potential is really high, and you just stay out lane all like huge amounts of time. You got to run up for this one, guys. All right, so here we go. We'll slow this one down to see if he actually goes for this fight here, because so far we missed a lot of fights this game. So kiting back, chucking in auto attacks in between every movement here, really important to do. If you're going to be moving away, you need to make sure you're at least getting those autos in. Look at this, even as he repositions himself backwards away from the fight, he's still throwing autos out, making sure he's getting as much damage down as possible. At this point, he's pretty donezo though, so he might rely on Tahm Kench to get him out of this one, but I'm not sure. He's going back in. The lifesteal is immense at this point. 100 lifesteal. He's still going for it. He's going for the greedy Lee Sin play when he should just be hitting Taliyah. But that's Draven. That's Draven in a nutshell. You just throw out axes, you do damage to people, and you don't respect the enemy team. There's no respect in that play. He's running through 3 people to try and finish off Lee Sin. There's no respect. He's just going for it. Having said that, he does get a lot of protection from this Tahm Kench, and he probably should be dying a lot earlier here. Oh, he missed red buff. Unlucky. He probably should be dying a lot earlier, but Olaf is also split pushing his heart out here, which is the power of Triforce Olaf, I guess. I don't know. Is he going to get it? He got the assist. He got the assist. That's good. All right, here we go, boys. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. He's following in. He's popped the U-moves straight away for the move speed bonus. The move speed boost / bonus is a bonus, apparently. And the pings come down onto Baron. 3 people dead from the enemy team. That's got to be a Baron. They're going for it. Focus the jungler. Always focus the jungler. If it's a Baron dance like this, you don't want the enemy jungler stealing anything. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I've actually seen a lot of 20-minute Barons when there's a Draven on the team, guys. That is definitely something that you can work towards. Draven as a champion is someone who is very good at sustained single target damage. Like with 2 axes spinning, your single target damage is just, it's endless because it's just your auto attacks, but it's so high. So if you're going for these, like if you're looking for a Baron, if you want to go for Baron, you can do it, and a lot of Dravens will do that early on. Especially if I go up against like a Draven Smurf or something, you know they're going to go for that early Baron because they can do it, and it's something which you can look towards as well. If you're in doubt about what you want to do, maybe going for an early Baron. Like you get a few picks and just go for the Baron. People often don't expect it either, so that works in your favor too. All right, you got the Baron buff now. What you gonna do with the Baron buff, boys and girls? Very easy answer to that question. Group up with your team, at least if you're Draven. You generally speaking, with this team comp, they'll probably want to have one person splitting a side lane and then everyone else grouping. But still, here we go. The fight is starting. Draven comes around the flank. Risky positioning because that's where the enemy team is. So he has to use his flash straight away to get out of the danger there. And then he just has to run away. So that is like pretty risky positioning. He's going for it though. No respect, no respect. You're playing Draven, you don't respect people. Claire's gonna get back on his mount, back on the horse. Did he kill Drake? Did he kill Twitch? He killed Twitch. Beautiful stuff. No respect. There's no respect. You don't respect people when you're playing Draven. You just don't. Why would you respect players when you can disrespect players? Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Moving on to his item build now, guys. This is pretty standard for what he does almost every single game here as well. Honestly, though, it's kind of hard to say because he actually wins loads of games before 20 minutes. So he gets like 2 or 3 items and then the game finishes. But he always goes a Last Whisper item 100% of the time in every single game. If he has enough time to get it, he'll get the Last Whisper item. And then he'll go, normally he goes for a crit item into Infinity Edge. So you're seeing that here. That's exactly the item build he's gone for now. Ooh, nice cheeky repel to dodge that actually. Good shit. But yeah, Bloodthirster, Yumu's, and then like after that it kind of depends. Like you can go for the armor pen early if you think you're up against a big front line, but you don't have to. He's popped his Yumu's. He wants to be in this. He's going to charge his axes on the minions so he can get 2 axes going here. Let's take a look-see and see what he does. All right. Right now, the goal right here is just to get that tower, but also not die. So if you can throw in cheeky auto attacks like this, all right, yeah, you got it, but you're gonna die for that one. I think he's dead, right? He's dead. Oh my goodness, that was it. That was an allied redemption. Okay, not used to red redemptions being friendly redemptions. Here comes the Lifesteal. Alright, turning around on the fight again now. Then this is better positioning for what he wants to do than last fight, because at least now he's on the right side of the fight. So he's just going to stand far back. He's dropped an axe already, which isn't great. But still just standing back, throwing in auto attacks. Nothing crazy. The least crazy you go, generally speaking, in team fights, the better off you are. But when you're playing Draven, of course, you're just going to go crazy all the time, like this. It's actually really hard for Draven to play versus Taliyah here, though. Like you can see he's really struggling with his positioning against Taliyah, because in these small choke points, Taliyah puts down that rubble, and Draven, as a champion with no actual mobility, can't get around it. Even though actually I don't think you can get around Taliyah's thingamabob, because if you use a gap close over it, you just get screwed. So yeah, but yeah, Draven is struggling a little bit, but if you can avoid it, good positioning that fight, but a bad position to fight, if that makes sense. If he can just get around the TYLER minefield, he'll be fine. Really important to note here as well, guys, generally speaking, the farm here, this guy's farm is really high, and that's a massive factor as to why he's almost fully built at 26 minutes. Of course, the fact that he's got 12 kills helps as well, but comparing his CS even to the enemy Twitches, it's huge. Twitch has not even got 3 items. Draven has almost 6 items. Although I guess one of those is boots, it doesn't count. Almost 5 items. You know, that's crazy. That's a huge gold disparity right there, and a lot of it just comes through the farm. Like he's got more extra gold because of his extra farm than the kills he's got. So we're gonna slow this one down again, guys, and look at his positioning and what he wants to do, because this is the important part about playing Draven. Everyone can play Draven in the lane phase. That's the easy part. Playing it outside the lane phase is a little bit harder. So here we go. Standing around the Tom Kench is a really important thing here, because you want to make sure if you get in trouble, you can get eaten. 2 auto attacks into an ulti, especially if you land some good crits, is a huge damage combo. But pretty chilled here. A lot of respect, a bit more respect we should say than he's been showing before. Also focusing on the fact that these guys want to get the inhibitor here rather than just flat out fighting. But here we go. He's going in for some cheeky autos. Got to be careful, but I think he's in a decent position here. I don't think he'll get collapsed from right now. Goes for the cheeky autos. Gets Taliyah down low. Pops his honors and then finishes her off. Not even going to die. Was that a Tom Kench flash to eat him? It was. Beautiful. And then he can just lifesteal back up again. He's got the healing reduction here, so he won't get as much health as he wants. But still, he's on half health again. He's back into the action, boys. They can go for the end here. There's 2 people dead. There's quite a lot of people dead when you're going for a push against a almost fully built Draven. Holy shit. That is a 3-shot onto the Lulu. Gonna get cleared as well. Gets cleared as well. Holy shit. This guy has so much damage. And almost gets the Twitch too. So there you go, guys. You just play, like, the crazier Draven went, the more he died. But that's just Draven. Draven does that all the time. Draven players do that all the time. When you chilled out a little bit more in those team fights, stay a little bit back. Usually, that's what you're looking for later on. However, of course, having said that, he did make the play in the end by seeing his opportunity to move forward, step forward, and hit TYLER with a few auto attacks. You only need like 2 auto attacks, and that's that. You know, you've just more or less taken them out of the fight. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, guys. I'm not really a bot lane player, so I'm sorry if my analysis was like not stellar this game, but I hope you at least enjoyed watching this Draven just throw axes at people and shit all over them. Pretty good start, definitely helps things as well though. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching the gameplays. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to give me that cheeky thumbs up if you did, and you can subscribe to me for more Little Legends content. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a good day, and I will see you in my next video.